7 o'clock, I'm going to call the Westmoreland City Council meeting to order. And tonight we got Pastor Lionel Borders from New Hope. He's going to do our devotion. So,
I think everybody can hear me from here pretty much. So I just got a couple of scripture I want to read, and then we'll have prayer. It says in Exodus chapter 18, verse 21, it says, "Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hated covetousness, and place them over them, to be rulers over thousands, and rulers over hundreds, rulers over 50s, and rulers over 10s." Then he goes on over and says in chapter 19, verse 5, still speaking to the people, he says, "Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed," he's talking about in everything that you do, "and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine." And I think any time that we're in a leadership role of any kind, we have to keep those things in mind. If we will just listen to the voice of God and make sure that we do things the right way, then God basically right there says, I'll bless everything that you do. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. If you would, we'll have prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just pray that you'll be on this meeting tonight. Lord, there's a lot of decisions and a lot of things that are difficult at times, but you know what needs to happen in this community to help this community begin to grow and flourish and become everything that it's capable of being. I'm going to pray that you would just be with these men. Lord, help them lead this community, help them make the decisions that are best, not just for you, but for all, dear Heavenly Father. Lord, it's in your name, in your precious name, in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
thank you, Lionel. Appreciate y'all's pastor this down. Come on up, Mr. Brandon. We'll wait for you to do the pledge here.
Thank you. All right.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Brown,
Present.
Lee,
Yes, here.
Calvert,
Here.
Jones,
Here.
Staples,
Here.
Borders.
Here.
Let the record reflect everybody's here. Next item on the agenda is to adopt an agenda. And I've got a item I want to add to that, if y'all so will. Aaron texted me this evening, Tim Dickens, Public Works employee, received his cross connection certification today and requesting a 50-cent pay increase.
What's his name?
Tim Dickens.
50 cents?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Chris.
Mayor, can I just let you know, Tracy Gatlin passed his building inspector thing
That
yesterday.
will be my next announcement.
Okay, I didn't know if you know.
Yeah. Yes, we do have a certified building inspector now.
All right.
He's state certified. So if I can get a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment, add on.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment of adding the pay increase of 50 cents for Cross Connect certification for Tim Dickens.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Councilman Jones to adopt the agenda with the add-on, second by Councilman Brown, Vice Mayor Brown. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any public comments? Anybody want to speak to the agenda? Items on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the January 19th minutes. In your packet, hope everybody's want to look over them.
I make a motion we adopt the minutes from the January 19th, 2023 City Council meeting.
Second.
Have a motion by Vice Mayor Brown to adopt the minutes from January 19th, 2023 City Council. second by Councilman Calvert. Any discussion? The only thing I'd like to see from going forward on the minutes is when we do roll call votes, I'd like to see their names. Like, rather than motion passed by unanimous, I'd like to see their names, yes, 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 even if it's all unanimous. That way, 3 or 4 years down the road, somebody looks at that, they'll see what council was seated and know who's blamed. Yeah, you could do that. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, by like sign. Motion carries. Now on to the January 2023 financial statement. Entertain a motion to accept this.
Motion to approve the financial statement for January 2023.
Motion's been made by Councilman Calvert to approve the January 2023 financial statements. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Borders. Is there any discussion?
Are there any notes, anything different about this?
There was not anything that I felt like warranted a note. But yeah, if y'all do have any questions or anything, I'll answer.
And you've not fixed or went back to fix the the police department's payroll where the overtime was calculated?
No, I have not.
So that's one reason that line item on the salaries of the police department looks so high, because some of the overtime is
So actually
calculated.
getting the salary line item instead of the overtime line
And
item.
she's got to recover that.
I got one question about the data processing services. They're taken out of each department,
Yes.
and some of them have different balances. Is that because, how do we, I know that it's a budget question, but how do we come up with that?
They send me like an estimate
Oh, really?
for what they're projecting the fees are gonna be.
Okay.
And then we divide it amongst every department.
Alright.
Some of the overage could be where if there was something else that we had to do in addition that wasn't in that initial estimate, gets put in that line item.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions about the budget? Financial statement. Hearing none, I'm gonna ask for a roll call on this one.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we'll move on to the old business. We've got 4 items there. First item on the old business is the second reading of ordinance 012-023-2, meeting time change. This is the second reading, and this is second reading on the ordinance changing all the council meetings from the regular meeting from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. All meetings start at 6 o'clock. This is second reading. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Councilman Calvert, approve second reading,
Second.
and second by Councilman Jones. Any discussion?
This makes all the meetings going forward all start at 6,
All at 6 o'clock.
unless there's some deviation, special
Yeah.
call or whatnot.
And I'm gonna try to make a point, unless it's a real lengthy special call meeting, that the special call meeting be called like at 6:40 or 5:45, so we don't have such a wait period in between meetings. And
Do we want to make a note to tell the paper?
That's gonna be, your next item, the
yeah,
resolution.
we'll have to put it in the paper.
Okay,
So it'll be, but I'll make sure that
sure.
when they do that ad,
Yeah.
instead of just posting the dates, that they'll make note of the time change as well.
Yeah.
All right, any more discussion on the second reading of the ordinance? Hearing none, call the roll, Ms. Kelly.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item of old business is resolution R-012023-1, 2023 meeting schedule. This has been done as a resolution, and there's a reason that there was no times on this, just dates. And it's got a list of all the dates of meetings. So I entertain a motion to pass this resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Vice Mayor Brown to pass this resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's been seconded by both of them. We'll give it to Mr. Staples this time. Any discussion? And we've got the December 28th meeting on here, but that is subject to be canceled. We don't want to miss out on Santa Claus. Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is the part-time grant writer position for the police department right now. Me and Chief Jolly and Keisha's talked about this, and for their department to get creditization, that we would like for her, or this person, to be working on getting that accreditation, and we'll do it as a trial up until budget time. And then if she's productive, or this person's productive, I keep saying she because I know, I'm sorry, but if this person's productive, then we're going to try to take some of that pay from other departments, such as the streets, public works, so that they can do grant writing for different areas of the city, if it's going to be productive. So, and this person will be working from home because they're not qualified to be in the office with the police department, so but it's a job that can be done from home. But for the police department to get grants, to be looked at seriously for grants, they need that accreditation. And we feel like this person can get that done for us within this time period. So I'll entertain a motion on that part-time grant writer position.
I'll motion to approve ordinance 012023-1.
The one above it.
Going vote, who's doing the,
Part-time police grant.
not doing the ordinance right now.
My bad, that's, motion to approve the part-time police department grant writer position.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made to approve the part-time grant writer's position, and seconded by Councilman Calvert, second by Councilman Jones. And this is a pay scale of,
It's an hourly pay scale, $19 per hour.
any more discussion about it? And being as this is a part-time job, I think we've cleared it through Mr. Brandon, it does not have to be advertised. Is that correct?
It's your choice. I mean, you could, but if you've got somebody that you know, it seems like a meaningless exercise. I don't think any rule that requires it.
Okay. Any more discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, Cameron, I think your time is now. All right, next old business is ordinance of 012-023-1, budget amendment, and this is to accommodate this person's salary for the, next 3 months, is that right, 4?
For March, April, May, June.
Yep. For an amount of $7,363. And I'll entertain a motion on ordinance. This is the first reading of this ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 012-023-1.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Councilman Jones, pass ordinance 012-023-1 on the first reading, and seconded by Councilman Calvert. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to new business. And the first item of business is Resolution R022023-1, termination of 912 building lease with Mr. Phil Coons. And let's see. We don't have none of that information in our package, do we?
It is.
I got the resolution, I just didn't have the,
You don't have the inventory list attached to it?
yep, it is, I found it, yep. There's an inventory list attached to this resolution. It has a dollar amount of $117,890 that Mr. Coons has either improved or has left. There's several items here that's in good or mint condition that he's leaving with the building to get out of this lease. And also in this lease agreement, I've put in there that the city will reimburse him for January's rent and December's rent of 2022 and January's rent of 2023. He was asked to vacate the building a lot earlier than this, and he didn't, and kept on paying rent. So I feel like this is going to be a win-win situation for us and Mr. Coons. And also, he did send a letter and requested this. So if I entertain a motion for this resolution.
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution R022023, authorizing the city of Westmoreland to terminate the lease with Mr. Phil Coons for 912 Park Street.
Second.
Motion's been made by Vice Mayor Brown, second by Councilman Borders, to pass resolution releasing Mr. Coons from the 912 Park Street lease. Any discussion?
Plan still going forward to use that for police department or community services or whatever stuff?
All above.
All of the above.
Police department's already been over there making measurements, and the left side of the building will probably be, looking at the left side of the building, probably going to be dedicated to the police department. Senior citizens has been over there scoping it out. It's going to be a pretty good fit for them. There's one office off the side over here. I give my office up over here at City Hall for Keisha to have a private office, so I'm gonna do just a little work at this office over here to make me a place. But it'll be dedicated to the police department and the community.
Mr. Brownlee, have you seen the lease, the termination of the lease?
I saw the letter that was requested. I would suggest this resolution doesn't really terminate the lease, it just has a lot of whereases. We need to put something, and maybe even, I was gonna suggest, I think we ought to make this an ordinance because you're paying money. You know, that money's already been received, it was in the budget as being an appropriate money and subject to appropriation. I think you really ought to appropriate it to send it back to him. Follow what
It
I'm saying?
actually wasn't in the budget, we only budgeted through October.
Okay, but just to pay, but the city's received those monies,
We have received all the way through January, yes.
has it been put in the city's bank account?
Yes, sir.
It's the city's money, it needs to be
Okay.
appropriated. So let's just make this, instead of resolution, let's make it an ordinance. And then down here, we're gonna add a paragraph that says, now therefore be it ordained by the board of mayor and all of the city of Westmoreland that the lease agreement, you get this, the lease agreement for 912 Park Street with Phil Coons is hereby terminated. And Mr. Coons is to be reimbursed $2,061.80 for December and January December 2022 and January 2023 rent received. We can go ahead and be moving in the building, whatever, I mean, everybody agreed to it, but this, technically, the second reading will pass next
Well,
week.
he was wanting to disconnect utilities tomorrow, and
He can do all that.
I done told Keisha just switch it back over.
If the council has no problem with that, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do that. We can anticipate what we're doing, you
Yeah.
know, and he can tell us we're gonna use the building as long as we want it until we terminate it.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we need to have him sign that ordinance as well, or just
No.
attach a copy of his letter requesting?
His letter request is enough for him.
Yep.
With him stating the items and giving us a inventory, I just want to be sure, to be clear that we're not going to be held accountable for reimbursing him for those items ever in the future if he were to say, hey, I gave the city all these items. Is there a way to put that also in this ordinance that you're suggesting, Mr. Brownlee? Or should-
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and, let me just rewrite that paragraph, and y'all go ahead and do something, else. We'll come back to that.
I mean, I appreciate the, the inventory and the amount of work that he's done in the building and the things that he's left behind, and he certainly doesn't want anything from that. But I don't ever want somebody to come back years later and say, hey, you know, here's this HVAC system that was put in by me, and not saying you would, I assume we're just trying to make ourselves clear.
Did you get in what I had a while ago? If you did, let's go ahead and pass that amendment. If you want to pass that amendment and pass this on first reading with that amendment, on second reading, I'll come up with language to make sure that's nailed down.
Thank you.
I think it's clear to everybody what we're doing, but I'll put that in the second reading, rather than trying to scribble something out here that we'll have typed in before you for second reading.
I'd like to motion to make an amendment to the resolution to make it an ordinance upon the counsel of our attorney to change the wording. I'll second.
Okay, an amendment to the resolution has been requested to pass this as an ordinance rather than a resolution on council advice. Motion was made by Councilman Calvert, second by Councilman Jones. Is there any discussion on this? We're voting on the amendment.
Do you have an ordinance number for that, so we know what that is?
It'll be the same as the resolution, only it'll be ordinance and then 0 instead of the R.
It's okay. That's something else. Thank you.
Hearing none, call the roll please on this amendment.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we're voting on the ordinance,
The original.
ordinance 0222023-1, terminating the lease first reading on terminating the lease with Mr. Coons at 912 Park Street. This will be the first reading on the ordinance.
Is the first reading on the resolution or the?
Or we change.
We'll
Ordinance.
change
Okay.
change it to an ordinance.
Okay.
Ms. Kelly, call the roll.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next item is cleanup day, March 25th for the city. Do I have a motion for this?
Make a motion to approve cleanup day on March the 25th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Jones, March 25th cleanup day, second by Councilman Calvert. Any discussion?
Doug, did you want to talk about the other thing?
We can save it for a work study,
Okay.
because this is kind of an addition. It's not necessarily the city's part. This is more of a community, the Summary County Health Committee. So since it's a little different, I'll kind of save it for the work study. But it is the same day. But no, I think I'm good we can just kind of wait. Thank you.
All right, any more discussion on cleanup day? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is mayor's mileage. There's two parts to this. Brian's is in November for $26.25. Mine December for $46.25, total of $72.50. I have a motion to approve mileage.
Motion to approve mayor's mileage for the fourth quarter.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Brown to approve the mayor's mileage, second by Councilman Calvert. Any discussion?
Would like to make a note, it looks like there might be, is that date wrong? 2002?
It is, I will check.
Okay. I figured that was just a typo, but.
He's trying mileage from
Good catch.
20 years ago.
Well, I was sitting there, I can't do that, trying to tie it up.
Yeah, okay.
20 years ago, it cost the gas a little cheaper to do it.
Yeah.
Me.
All, any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, creek crossing permit. This is a resolution that came out in the sewer plant construction meeting last week that, that's the right there. It is.
No, that's not a resolution,
No.
it's just an item.
Yep. It's just an item, but anyway, when they, went to dig and find the force mains out here at the sewer plant, they dug where they thought it was laid out, and found out it was on the other side of the creek. And there's a diagram in here that, Logan provided that two options. One is running, I think he said thousands of more feet of line right here, then come back down to it, or we can cross the creek right here and simplify it, but we have to have a TDEC permit to do that. And the reason I put it on the agenda without going forward work studies, because it's time sensitive. If we waited till March, then it'd been the end of March before we vote on it, and that would delay the construction of the sewer plant. I didn't want that, no more delays on that, so it's another one of those hiccups by somebody who I don't know. So, but we do need to, we'll entertain a motion to approve this creek crossing permit for Logan, then go ahead and apply for it. GMC, go ahead and apply for this permit through TDEC.
Seems crazy that we're this far into a project. Don't know where those force mains are.
I'll make a motion to approve for discussion purposes.
I'll second.
I would agree with you. I think it's pretty ridiculous that you don't know where your, yeah, I think it's pretty ridiculous you don't know where your force mains are before you have gotten this far in the project.
You'd think in the engineering part of it that this would have been discovered.
Yeah, when you're trying to create a budget for a project, yeah.
Yeah, on the budget end of it, that
When you're
should
bidding out a project, connecting everything back in, you're pretty sure you'd know where all your lines and everything are coming from.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, would that not fall under the engineering's category there? I mean,
That's my argument, but now, and I guess their argument is, you know, where's the, master plan of those force mains? You know, somebody dropped the book there years ago, and didn't lay it out, so who's at fault there, I don't know.
what I'm thinking on it though is, I mean, they should have researched that out and
You-
discovered that.
You knew you were gonna have to tie all this
Before
back in, though, that's my thing. You knew you were gonna have to tie it all in, you know it all came together at the old one, it's across the tree line.
Yep.
You can't tell me you didn't figure that into your budget for the project.
Yeah, the contractor that knew, I mean, he did that he did this tie-in into his contract.
I think we're all pretty dissatisfied with the engineering piece, so. Just kind of frustration on the way.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Dave, can you,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, can you explain to me on this, because it's black and white, so
Yeah.
I'm having problems making out what is exactly what in
You want my
this.
copy of the color?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm colorblind, so I may not have.
Essentially, see this short line right here?
Right here's where they're going to cross at.
Right here?
Yeah.
And
This here?
It says right here, it's 560 feet
And then the long way,
of additional pipe to tie
see
in.
this?
Yeah, the long way goes way up here and back down, where you're not crossing the creek.
Which
Well,
option,
my question is, if we
which
got
option are they hoping to go with?
The short one, the short route.
Just a crossing over right here.
But that requires a TDEC permit because it's crossing the,
Crossing the creek, right, I understand that.
What is exactly is before the council now? It's not an ordinance or resolution. What do they want you to do?
They just want us to apply for the permit. So
Another
the question is who's gonna pay for the permit that we should have known about a long time ago?
Seems to me, I'd be willing to apply for the permit as soon as somebody provides us the funds. I mean, you know. A lot of questions about like that with that contract.
Yeah.
Afraid there'd be many more, just the beginning.
Is that, I mean, 'cause it already crosses the creek. It has to, in order to get to the existing wastewater plant.
Okay.
I'll be happy to walk anybody over there and they can look at it from my property side. But it already crosses the creek there just to get to where it's already existing. So they should have figured that in when they were moving from point A to point B. So that should have already been figured into this whole ordeal. It shouldn't be coming in here now.
Permit should have already been obtained.
If that was the plan, if that was the intent, they should have already,
Right.
it should have been a part of the whole project that was approved and applied for in that loan and known at the beginning.
Are we approving just so that they can move forward with this?
So there's no.
We're not taking, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I was saying,
Go ahead.
we're not taking responsibility of any payment tonight, according to what I believe this is reading. We're just saying we've given them approval to obtain this permit. Is that correct?
well, the permit costs money.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, we're saying that we're allowed, and I don't even know why they need our approval to obtain such
I
permit.
think the state requires it. I think the municipality has to agree with something
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think they need your permission, they should have asked for it before now,
No, I
obviously.
agree. Yeah.
But I would limit my permission to being permission, not approving a method of payment.
Well, that's what I'm trying to, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
But is there a resolution that even says that?
No,
Now, what are we voting on? That's what I was trying to get up to before.
Well, I think
We're-
it's,
we're voting to allow Logan, to allow GMC to go ahead and apply for this permit through the state.
Okay.
All right, their cost.
Nah, he didn't say at their cost, he said 50.
Well, in their contract with us, they're gonna put
They're
it
gonna put it all back on us.
But I wouldn't even talk about money in this, I just say that they're giving permission to the extent it's necessary for the city to seek a change in the, you know, the way this, the route here, and get a permit for that. And, there's gonna be a lot of other things that have to be negotiated with them in the future, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay. So you need to reword your motion to, just say we're,
How do I need to
Just
reword?
say, you know, just I hereby move to allow this, I hereby move that the city, agree that the contractor can seek a permit, or the engineer can seek a permit, or whoever they have to relocate, whatever they're relocating, period.
Okay. So I'm in my motion to allow GMC to procure a permit so that we can proceed with the project. Is that suitable?
Everybody knows what you're talking about, and it's better if you got something in writing, but you do have a picture there.
I got a picture.
It's worth 1,000 words, they say.
Whose words?
okay, Councilman Jones has amended his motion to allow GMC to proceed with obtaining creek crossing permit. Is that how you want to say it?
That sounds good.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilman Jones, second by Councilman Borders. Call the roll, Ms. Kelly. Are any discussion on this?
Just cussing, no discussing.
See, and believe me, I'm disgusted with it. Call the roll, please. Hearing none.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Okay, I need to go to the original motion. But this states about the same thing, don't it? Or,
I think that's all you voted on, because there's no ordinance or resolution. I think what he did is good enough.
okay, good enough.
All you want is the minutes to reflect that the council voted to approve seeking a permit
Okay.
to relocate.
All right. Next item is resolution R 022-023-2 THDA home grant. Now, I'm gonna let Kelly or Keisha want to speak to this a little bit. They know more about this than I do. Or both.
So this grant is going to allow citizens in our community to apply for these funds, to do repairs and things like that on their home. We did this grant back, I'm really not sure how long ago it was. That was more Kelly's time period.
It's been done a couple of times before, actually, I think.
But this money goes into a city checking account, right? And then we disperse it as it's granted to citizens.
Okay.
Is there a, I guess we need a motion before we discuss.
Have a motion to approve resolution number R 022-023-2.
Motion's been made to pass resolution.
Second.
Second. And seconded. Any discussion?
So with this, is there a list of stipulations as to who can apply for this grant? Is it open to any member of the public that's a citizen of the community, or you have to meet a certain list of criteria?
We've had paperwork over here for a very long time about it. We don't have, we've tried to get the word out in years past. Sometimes there's not a whole lot of interest. just because people don't know about it. It has to be a homeowner, and they have to be of a certain age and, a certain income requirement. But it's a wonderful thing, when for the ones that do qualify. And a lot of it, it's just they need to know that it's available. I know, some families that have had, or some residents that have had the work done. They've maybe had, kitchen floor replaced, a bathroom, situation with a bathroom replaced.
I'm sorry,
things like
I didn't
that.
quite catch that.
But we have something like an informational sheet over there that just gives some very basic stuff, and then, if, this is so that, what is her, I think Amanda can handle it, so she can answer a lot of the more detailed questions. Keisha would end up almost being just kind of the go-between for the city for it.
What form or method do you use to get the word out to people so that residents know?
The lady that used to do it up here, she's retired years ago, but her name was Cindy. I've seen her so much as go out and go to people directly and say, this house, this is, something that would
Is
be.
it possible the city can run an ad in the paper about it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You might get the paper to run a story about it too.
yeah.
Because I think that's newsworthy.
Yeah.
They've done this in Portland, it's been very successful.
It's a great thing, do they need help with the roof, is it something, interior, exterior, whatever, that, I think, I'm not sure of all the requirements, but, I do know they have to own the home, and,
It's income based, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's based, there's different programs, and I don't know if this one is specific to age also or not, but, the THDA one.
And there's a lot of stuff in there I've learned that, like for the elderly, like smoke detectors could be installed, carbon monoxide detectors, bed shaking, alarm to wake the elderly if the house catches on fire. I think Portland's installed some of those. And there's a lot of money there to be used, and it's just not getting used right now.
Right.
Would you mind sharing that information pamphlet sheet that you got with us in an email?
I think that'd be hugely beneficial.
Do what?
So I think that'd be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, it's get the word out somehow or another, because, if there's money to be,
Now Amanda writes this grant, right?
Yes.
Okay.
we need to.
No, what's the timeline for this grant? If we submit an application for it, what's the timeline on hearing back if we get it?
I haven't talked to Amanda about this particular grant, but I will. I'll call her. I'll fire it up tomorrow.
So we're just passing this to say,
We're going to
Do
We're gonna apply for it.
apply for
get
it.
her to apply for it.
This is
Okay.
something that's kind of an always ongoing thing. I don't know if there's specific deadlines each year for it, but
It's
there's.
a yearly thing.
You do this every year, so if you miss the deadline this year, you go for it, you'll be ready next year. So
Okay.
you need to move forward as soon as you can.
It's like my work won't come.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, Kelly call the roll.
Borders,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
State.
Yes.
Motion carries. Last item is the add-on. That's Tim Dickens Cross Connection certification. He did receive that certification. You got a copy of it yet, Keisha?
I downloaded Aaron, said he would get that to me first
Okay.
off.
And that, for a 50-cent pay increase. Entertain motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 50-cent raise for Tim Dickens, for his cross-connection certification.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilman Jones, second by Councilman Calvert. Any discussion?
Yeah, well, this is the second one of these in, as many meetings. And I think it's something that needs to be done. Can we just make it an ordinance that as people get that certification and they get that pay increase without having to go through this? Can it be adopted as an ordinance or as a resolution or as part of the employment?
It's funny you
I'm
mentioned.
asking the question because
Yeah.
because I think it's important that these people get paid and they have the incentive to receive that, you know, to get those certifications because it's,
Well, I think it is too, but don't we have a limit on how many certifications they get? As many as they want, but they're only gonna get a pay raise on a certain amount of certificates, is that right?
And there's different pay increases for different certifications
Right.
as well.
And the number of people that can.
But is there, to his point, is there a way where we can build this in that once an employee's hired, that we don't have to continually?
Well, yeah, I would think it would be.
I think we've done this before.
and I think, don't we run into a problem if two guys get that raise and the third guy gets his his certification and we don't give him any pay raise for it, then that brings us up for some liability for
Equal pay,
equal pay
Yeah.
for,
especially if one's a man and one's a woman.
so,
Really get into a problem with that.
Wasn't there something?
If you had a comprehensive ordinance dealing with pay, which you don't, you know, you'd have this sort of thing in there, that when you get certain certifications, you get this pay increase. What you do have is the annual operating budget, and as far as I'm concerned, if it's the policy that these raises are always given upon these certifications, and maybe we get the mayor to put out a memorandum with the certifications and what the raise is gonna be, and maybe a resolution even adopted that, where these don't come back before the board. As long as they're in the budget, I don't see your reason for y'all to vote on 50
Money's
cents.
already allocated to be
Yeah, as
spent.
long as the money's already, but you're not appropriating money tonight, there's money already in the budget for this.
yeah.
It's just an administrative thing that, quite frankly, y'all tell the mayor to approve this without you taking action, he can do it.
I was actually just about to say that I think that if it required wording, then say that, you know, at the discretion of the mayor, if it needs to come before the council or something like that, I think that would be suitable, especially if there's some question about if we're running close on the budget or something like that, you know, something to tie that up before it becomes a problem.
You know, I suggest that we go ahead and, I mean, I don't think there's any reason not to go ahead and vote on this one, you voted on so many in the past. But let me get with the mayor and we'll come up with a sort of a plan for something to present to the board to say that to the extent funds are allocated, these raises can be given, you know, without further council approval.
Wouldn't that go maybe just in the policy and procedures?
Good work there, that'd be fine, it may already be in there, I'm not sure.
Well, something tells me it is. I don't know why I keep going back to that, but to your point, I believe we've addressed this in the past.
If it's in there, then certainly doesn't need to come back before the council.
And I may be wrong. I know that we've put it in a job description before, or an application, stating when we hire somebody that if they got this certification in the future, they would get an additional amount of raise. I know we've stated something like that in the past, but I was thinking it may have been in a policy and procedure governing the entire
I know when we
body, but I don't know.
redid the policy and procedures, we
Yeah, it seemed
talked
like we
about
did.
it.
It seemed like we, yeah.
We did talk about it, and I can't remember now what we did, but I'm thinking maybe this reason's coming back before, because it's habit.
Yeah.
It is a habit, yeah.
I believe at one point that the reason that we didn't do it just flatly that way is because there were different amounts based on which certifications were what. And there were some that took longer to get, therefore they were, expected to get more. And I think that's why originally they didn't want to just kind of lump it all in.
That's something we definitely need to look into, because I like that idea better. I tying up the council's time, stuff like that.
Well, and I know that in the past, Mayor, that when somebody's been hired, you know, whether it's the chief or Aaron or whoever, when you're talking about this person, they say, and once they get such and such certification, they'll get $1 an hour pay increase or whatever, whether it's a completed academy for the police or whatever it is. We've done that before, and if that's in there when the council hires them, certainly there's already to go back to, because that's what the council votes on.
Yep.
So I think it's more habit than anything
I
else.
think so,
like I was saying.
too. All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Staples,
Yes.
Borders.
Yes.
All right. All right, that's the last item of business on the agenda. I do appreciate the ones here tonight, appreciate the council being here, making decisions. And one more motion needs to be made,
So moved.
and it's been made, it's not debatable.